Marston's Domain.
Enough is enough. It's time to bring back King K Rool. Hashtag FreeKRool. Anyone who is remotely a fan of Donkey Kong Country knows who King K Rool is. Even if someone's only played Donkey Kong 64, they actually know who King K Rool is. But I would say a majority of his fans are from the DKC trilogy. King K Rool to many, including myself, is my favorite boss character of any video game, period. And it's a character that has a spot in many people's hearts that have even just merely touched a Donkey Kong Country game. The character design, the way that he acts, the way that his plans just never go the way he wants them to, are all the reasons why we love him. He's a character that's fun to take down, and he's a character that's satisfying to see and fight in any game that he's in. But as many of you may know, he hasn't made an appearance in a very, very long time. And I think a lot of this is thanks to the fact that Rare got bought out by Microsoft, which, if you ask me, was one of the worst things that could have happened with Rare, because it caused a lot of games that we knew and loved to change or just not come out at all. And one of these big changes is Donkey Kong Country not having King K Rool as a main villain. There are a lot of other things that happen with Rare getting bought out by Microsoft, but we are not going to get into that right now, because right now our focus is King K Rool. I remember when they announced Donkey Kong Country Returns, I was so excited. I could not believe they were bringing back this series. But when this game was coming out, I remember there was an interview with the Angry Video Game Nerd, who was someone that I really enjoy watching. And I remember in an interview, he was talking about Donkey Kong Country Returns, and he said, it was okay. And I remember thinking, how could this game just be okay? This was the return of one of the greatest 2D platformers of all time. And when I finally had my hands on this game, I felt the same way, because I was confused. I was like, well, this is one of my favorite games. Why doesn't this feel as amazing as I thought it would? And I think a big part of that, well, I definitely was not a fan of the fact that you had to shake the Wii remote to roll. But regardless of that, I really didn't like the design of the enemies in the game. There were no Kremlings at all. And to top it off, there was no King K Rool. So then when Tropical Freeze came out, I was like, alright, there's still no King K Rool, but I felt that the gameplay really stood up to, okay, this is Donkey Kong Country. But not having King K Rool still makes that little piece that could make this game perfect missing. And it's to the point where it's starting to get really frustrating, because you would think, well, it's just one character, who cares? But me and a lot of other fans really want this one character to be in the game. There could be no Kremlings in the game at all. If they at least had King K Rool, it would be completely fine. I remember playing Mario Super Sluggers and being amazed that King K Rool was a playable character in that. When that happened, I was like, wow, the copyright thing is over. He can be in any game that he wants now. But I don't really think that's the case. At least not during that time period. Because then Donkey Kong Country Returns came out, and what do you know, no King K Rool. And then Tropical Freeze came out, no King K Rool. But something else happened. When the Smash ballot came out for Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS, a lot of people, including myself, thought that this was the ticket to getting King K Rool into Smash Bros., which is something that a lot of fans want to happen. And since we couldn't see the results of the Smash ballot, there was a lot of fan Smash ballot polls made, and King K Rool was either number one or very close to the top on a lot of those polls. So in my mind, I was like, alright, he's basically guaranteed. He's gonna be in the game. And sure enough, he wasn't. But something happened. Something huge happened. Out of nowhere, they were just like, here's a costume for King K Rool. And I remember when I saw that, I knew something was up. There is no doubt in my mind that he was very, very, very high in the Smash ballot. And that's why they chose to make him a costume in the game. Because maybe it wasn't financially worth it for them to make him an entire character, because I'm sure there's a lot of copyright stuff that has to go on to make him a full-fledged character, because as far as I know, he's still owned by Rare. So maybe him being a costume is known as obviously being lesser than him being a playable character, so maybe they kind of just gave him the green light and were like, okay, yeah, you can do that. But something else that was really interesting about this costume was that it was the very original King K Rool design, the one from Donkey Kong Country. It wasn't the one from Mario Super Sluggers. So it begs the question, how much of this copyright is still in play? I'm starting to think that over time, it's become less and less. I still think that it was too much for them to deal with to make him a full-fledged playable character. However, Smash 5 is coming. Now we don't know if it's a port or a new game, but I think it might be King K Rool's time to shine, because there is no doubt in my mind that they know that a lot of fans want King K Rool in this game. And I really firmly believe that's why they made him a costume. because they knew the demand was there, but they didn't want to deal with it at the time. And that costume having the original DKC theme, and not the Mario Super Sluggers theme, and not even the trophy that's in Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS. I think that it's basically prepping for them going, yeah, we're not going to put him in this one, but he's got a place in the future. And I think that future is now. I think it's time to bring back King K Rool. And I think it's time to put him in Smash Bros. And if this whole rumor that's going around about a new Donkey Kong Country game coming out for the Switch is true, it's time to bring King K Rool back to Donkey Kong Country and finish off the new trilogy the right way by having King K Rool be the main villain of this new potential Donkey Kong Country. Enough is enough. It's time to bring back King K Rool. #FreeKRool.